Okay, so we're going to review the game that we just played in hopes that we learn something from it. Now, obviously, some of the stuff that I'm going to say you already know, but I'm hoping that this tutorial will be helpful to somebody who is, just entering into the world of chess. So now I start out with the classic opening, where I move my king pawn. Now, by doing that, I allow for my bishop to get out. Okay, my king's bishop to get out, and my king's bishop controls all these squares. And my queen now controls all of these squares. And I have two squares in the center. That's awesome. And now it's already helping me to be able to castle, and I have a strong ability to castle, and that's why the king pawn to to e4 is considered by many as like the best first move that you can do. So now you move on, and by contrast, you don't really take control of the center. If you think of this as a battlefield, so we have a battlefield with three different types of soldiers. You have your pawns, you have your minor pieces, which is your knight and your bishop, and you have your major pieces, which is your rook and your queen. So now we have a battlefield. We want to take control of the battlefield, especially the center of the battlefield, as quickly as possible, and we want to get as many of our soldiers out as quickly as possible. And the easiest ones to get out are usually are the minor pieces, which is the bishop and the knight. So by doing this, this move of G6 or G7 to G6, you don't really control the center, and you don't really give any of your pieces an avenue to attack. So now your bishop is attacking this space, which you already controlled before you moved, and this space, which you already controlled before you moved. So you didn't really gain any ground. So you just basically, made a move, and it didn't accomplish much. So now I bring this out to control all four of these pieces in the center, and to give this bishop now a whole avenue for itself to attack. So now you move you move your king, your knight out, which is a good move because when you attack me, and not only did you bring a new piece out into a new soldier out into the field, but you're attacking my pawn, which forces me to respond to that and hinders whatever plan I may have had. So now I could have responded by moving my king's bishop pawn forward, but if I had done that, I would be just wasting a turn, because I wouldn't be developing a piece. No new soldiers would be brought out into the battlefield, and I'd be weakening my potential kingside castle, which I'm really looking forward to doing, because that's the best way to protect your king. Now you've already kind of messed it up with that initial move. So now this piece wasn't under attack, so you just kind of wasted a move moving it up there, where you should have brought out either your other knight, or moved a pawn forward so that your bishop could get out, or something, so that you'd be able to get more control of more pieces. But instead you just moved this a second time, which was a mistake because you didn't see my queen there to take it. But even if my queen wasn't there, you wouldn't have accomplished much by moving it up there, especially because you're so close to the pawns, and I could have just moved the pawn down, and then you would have had to run away. In the beginning, remember, try not to move your pieces more than once until you have enough of your minor pieces out onto the board. So I just take. It's obviously just a mistake. So now you attack, which again doesn't really develop any of your pieces. And now I decide I don't want to run away because I'm already out there. So I scoot over once, and you attack again. Now at this point I don't want, I've already moved it 3 times, so that's a big waste for me, waste in time. But you didn't really accomplish much, so it's not so bad. So now that move didn't really do anything. Your bishop was protected by your rook, so you didn't really need to move this pawn up. All you did was hinder the bishop's ability to attack. So I moved another piece out. Now if you look at the board, I have 3 I have two minor pieces and one major piece, and complete control of the center, where you have one minor piece out that's completely useless because it's blocked by this pawn.